All right, what is up, guys? My name is Coriola, and I'm back with Out of the Park Baseball. It has been 2 years, 6 months, and 27 days since I've last said those words. Actually, hold on, that's not even right. It's been that long since I've last uploaded a video, which was a while after my last Out of the Park series. If you were around then when my computer decided to call it quits on me. So yeah, that was back in Out of the Park Baseball 18. We are on Out of the Park 21. Today is release day. Oh, just kidding. It's actually just past midnight on the day after release day. Hopefully this comes out sometime, Saturday afternoon. So yeah, I am back after quite some time. Um since I've last uploaded, so much shit has happened. Graduated high school, went to college, changed colleges. So and then last week my wonderful university, in the kindest way possible, told us to ship out. So I am back home for the rest of the semester and for the summer. Um, can't spend a ton of time with my friends, with the whole thing that's going on. I don't really have any words of wisdom for that. Just don't be stupid. Keep people in your life safe. That's all I got for you now. But yeah, I was actually planning on coming back this summer when I got home from school, but turns out that is now. So with Out of the Park Baseball 21 dropping yesterday, it felt like the right time to come back. So with that being said, let's get into franchise. I am not going to put on challenge mode just in case something goes wrong that I have to fix for the series. But as you can tell from the thumbnail, I'm not hiding it this time like I did with the Diamondback series in Out of the Park 2018. Jesus. Already somewhat struggling. It's good to be back. But yes, we are going to be playing with the Milwaukee Brewers. And now, I know a lot of people are thinking, hold on, they made the playoffs last year. They made the NLCS 2 years ago. They've got one of the best players in baseball who they just locked up. But I still think it's going to be a fun challenge. The Brewers have one of the worst farm systems, if not the worst, in baseball. I think MLB Pipeline had them ranked dead last with exactly 0 top 100 prospects. And it's not like the team is stacked up and down the lineup. Obviously they've got some studs, Christian Yelich, obviously Lorenzo Cain, who is, for me as a Royals fan, probably top 3 all-time favorite players that I've watched. And Keston Hiura, back from Out of the Park 18, one of my favorite prospects in the 2017 draft, and he's now one of the bright young spots in the Brewers organization. But he is kind of the last help piece they're gonna get, because as I was saying, the farm system's weak. You're not really gonna be able to trade for big players, nor are guys going to come up through the farm system to reinforce the major league team. So it's going to be challenging to fill some of the holes. You know, they've got some spots. Obviously, we're going to look at the roster in a second, but pitching is a big concern. Some spots in the lineup that make you think they're not quite ready even to go back in the playoffs. I know a lot of projections have them sitting around 80, 82 wins, and then it's just kind of going to get worse in the next couple years without farm system help. So that is our job, to take the Milwaukee Brewers and turn them into not dynasty, because I don't really go past World Series on these series. Actually, I've only won one World Series on this channel, and that was in Out of the Park 17 with the Cincinnati Reds. So going back to my roots a little bit, NL Central. You notice I play a lot of NL teams. Obviously my Royals are in the American League Central, so I don't really play with other AL Central teams. And then I don't like a ton of the teams in the AL East or the West, so it's National League with us. We are going to be playing as Ennio Deveski. He was a pitcher in one of my Royals franchises in, I believe, 19. So, you know, don't want to be playing as myself, because I do that in my Royals franchise because of my extreme sense of self-worth and narcissism. But yeah, we are going to get started here with the Milwaukee Brewers. I really want to turn this on because YouTube series. Yeah, we're gonna do it. All right, so let's check out our team. They want us to sign Eric Sogard to extension, which immediately makes me not the most happy. But so yeah, first things first, pitching rotation. You know, starting pitching depth is a concern. I really like Brandon Woodruff. He is 27, but you know, he had a really good year last year in 121 innings pitched. They've kind of been using him in an opener role at the beginning of his career. He stretched out more his second year, so we're hoping to turn him into a full-fledged ace, really, is kind of what we need from him. We've got Brent Souter, who spent a lot of time in the minor leagues last couple seasons. He's been bouncing around between the majors and the minors, but with Milwaukee, he's a lefty with really good command. Doesn't throw very hard. And he's our 2 pitcher. So you can see where the concerns come in. Adrian Hauser. That to me screams reliever. He throws a hard fastball. He's got really good stuff. I think that it's a lot higher than a 50. You know, when you see these 2 really high pitches, I bet his ratings would actually go up as reliever, and they do pretty significantly. If I say anything about this game that is just wrong, that is because I have just booted it up for the first time. That's not true, but this is the first time I'm actually playing. So if I say something like, oh, you know, I bet it this would happen if I, you know, changed his position or did something like that, like looking for a trade, I don't really know. But if I get that wrong, just know that it's not my fault and I take no responsibility whatsoever. Freddy Peralta, again, this kind of screams reliever to me. With the low movement and low control, he's going to walk a lot of guys. He's gave up a lot of home runs, and we saw that in 2019. Almost 4 walks per 9 and 1.5 home runs per 9 innings, which really is concerning as a starting pitcher. And his potential says he doesn't really have much room to grow there. So, and he's locked up on a long-term deal, but he's 23. You know, worst case scenario, he's going to be really nice out of the bullpen for us. And I think long-term, that's kind of where we want to move him. And then Brett Anderson, still somehow in the league. very banged up through his career. But I've always liked Brett Anderson. He's another lefty with Souter. That's kind of all I have to say about him. We need to upgrade starting pitching. In the bullpen, Josh Hader. Controversial character, to say the least. But he's really, really good. Hader's the type of guy who's going to get expensive in a couple years. He is just about to hit arbitration. I think he might have been on Super 2 last year, which is why he has $4 million salary instead of the league minimum. I kind of want to trade Josh Hader if we go into the full rebuild, but he is only 25 and he's a stud lefty. But we need to replenish our farm system, and closers, relievers are kind of, a luxury at this point, or in the future if we're looking at a rebuild. Corbin Burns, I want him in my starting rotation. I don't know why he's not, but he's traded. Oh no, I am mistaking him with someone else. Who do they trade for from San Diego? Am I stupid? Because that's a significant possibility. Hold on, let me open my trusty Google. Oh, maybe they traded a starting pitcher away. That might have been it. Was it Zach Davies? I bet it was Zach Davies. Yeah. So they got back Eric Lauer in this deal. I do not see Eric Lauer, although Corey Knievel's out. He's really good, and I like him. Luis Urias, kind of slapdick. That's a Blake Snell reference. Basically hitters who have high contact, low power, who hit a lot of ground balls. So where is Eric Lauer? He is in AAA. He should probably be in AAA. Yeah. I mean, as you can see, we don't have any pitcher higher than 2.5 star potential. And in Out of the Park 20, there was a really big change where 2.5 star guys kind of became like the replaceable level. In older games, your replacement level players, I feel like, at least in the beginning of the game, were a bit lower rated. Like your 2 stars. Although I'm probably going to end up going to the 2080 scale, but that's a whole nother point, and I'm getting distracted. Anyway, Corbin Burns should be in. I swear to God, I do this all the time. Corbin Burns should be in the starting rotation. He got hit around a lot last year. That BABIP is disgusting. That BABIP is also not very great. Strikeouts per 9 looks fantastic. He has got better movement and control potential than Peralta. Another guy who kind of looks like he's destined for the bullpen based on the stuff in the pitches. Also, please, in the comments, yell at me if I'm moving my head around. I do it a lot. I've already kicked my chair straight back and put myself in a much worse position to be staying still while talking. And I don't even know how to drink water properly. I promise that was a cough because I was drinking water. Anyway, yell at me if I am moving my head. Jesus, head around a lot. Because I got some much appreciated constructive feedback before I last left. And that wasn't sarcasm. I genuinely appreciate any sort of constructive feedback just to make this a more enjoyable experience for you as a watcher. Anyway, I'm distracting myself. I do this all the time. Alex Claudio kind of fallen off. Really nice 2017. Hasn't really been able to replicate that. Even when he had a 268 BABIP, he had a 406 ERA. Strikeouts, for a guy with 75 movement, 1.2 home runs per 9 is way too high. And for a guy with 65 control, 3.5 walks per nine is just way, way too high. Otherwise, in the bullpen, you got some guys. I don't know how many of these guys are going to be here long term. Devin Williams is interesting. Can throw really hard. He's got a nice fastball, nice changeup. Good 3-pitch repertoire for a reliever. So he's interesting. I don't want to pronounce that. That doesn't seem fun. David Phelps is a guy. Josh Lindblom. He's a guy. Although he does have some starting potential. I wouldn't say a ton. But he's got 5 decent pitches and good control, and good stamina. So he could, if he has one of those like giant talent change randomness things, he could potentially be a starting pitcher. Anyway, let's move to the offense. Behind the dish, we've got Omar Narvaez, really good offensive catcher. 813 OPS is huge for behind the dish. He's not great fielding, but 50 catcher arm is better than a lot that I see in OOTP, especially when you get pretty far in the future. 45 catcher ability, not great. So defensively, he's definitely, I wouldn't say a liability, but it's concerning. Someone's a lot better. I thought it was. Anyway, it's definitely something we'll have to look out for. Justin Smoak at first base. I saw an article that suggested he is due for some major. What's the opposite of regression? Progression, but he's 33. It's not really. Just regression back to the mean, but in a positive way, because he has a really high barreled to whiff ratio. Interesting analytics nugget for you. So yeah, he's gonna be our first baseman. Second base, my guy Keston Hira. Really good rookie season. He's got incredible ratings. Even looks like he could possibly stick at second base and not have to move him to DH. Yes, we're going to put the DH in next year. It's going to be a whole thing. I'll explain it in a few episodes when it's 2021, so I don't have to do it now. Brock Holt over from the Red Sox. Jed Jerko. Guy Eric Sogard. He had a decent year last year before he got traded. Did he get traded before or after that? He got traded from Toronto. Yeah. And then he was alright in Tampa. He's going to be our third baseman. I've never thought he was a really good hitter. Owner wants to extend him. That doesn't make me happy. Orlando Arcia. Really good defender. At shortstop, obviously. He very recently was a top prospect for the Brewers. Hasn't really hit, so we're going to kind of hope for him to turn it around. In the outfield, we've got Ryan Braun, his massive contract that actually proved to be kind of worth it, which I didn't think it would be at the time it was signed. God, am I going to cough again? $16 million for a 2.7 WAR outfielder? It's really not that bad. Obviously, Christian Yelich, he just got a big extension. He's going to be here for 9 years until he's 37. But that's really not a lot for a superstar player. Is this team just going to be really good and the series is going to have to end immediately? I hope not. Lorenzo Cain, I just love him. But, this big drop off in OPS, in WAR, kind of makes you think he's heading towards the end of his career, which is very sad, obviously. But he's still a really good center fielder. Maybe we'll trade him for Corey Seager. That is a reference to my OOTP 17 series. And then in right field, Avisail Garcia. Every time I think he's bad, he does really good. And every time I think he's good, he does really bad. So, he's another guy. We have exactly three prospects I can't count above 2.5 stars. They are Bryce Tarang, who has the weirdest set of attributes I've seen in this game. Really good discipline. I had my prospects to shortlist just to kind of keep track of them. At catcher, we've got Mario Feliciano. It's not great, but he's got potential. And then we got Tristan Lux. I actually kind of like these ratings. He reminds me a lot of Khalil Lee from the Royals. High power, high in quotes. That OSA rating isn't great. High power, high discipline, low contact, low avoid Ks, good defense. Lee is faster, but and Lee bats lefty, but otherwise these guys look like really similar players, and Lee usually turns out pretty well in OTP. So hopefully so does Tristan Lux. And as you can see, those are really our only guys. Corey Ray used to be a top prospect. Ryan Healy's in AAA, even though he was in the bigs last year. He could see the bigs at some time. Same with Keon Broxton. I mean, other than those three guys, as you can see, this bullpen, this farm system is empty. I feel like I recognize the name Joe Gray, but it's a very simple name. So anyway, I think I've already been rambling a lot for this episode, so I think we're going to simulate up to this first game, which, as you know, is not going to happen. At least it's not going to happen when it was scheduled to be played. Great job with the speaking there. And then just take a look at season predictions and top prospects. And I'll get you guys on out of here. Hopefully episode 2 will be up the day after you see this. So I guess that for me technically is tomorrow. That is Sunday. And so we'll get into the mid-season, get some simulating done, and get this franchise on the road. So let's take a look at minor league system rankings. Milwaukee, number 29, ahead of the Colorado Rockies. We do have a top 100 prospect in Bryce Tarang. I'm not going to say I disagree with that. I'm also not going to say I vehemently agree with that. Just making sure these guys don't have significantly higher ratings than my Royals save. But yeah, obviously we don't have any guys along lines same way the Rays, Dodgers, Padres do. So that's gonna be the goal. Really focus on building the farm system. I'm not saying we're going to tank, but minor leagues is really the focus for these first couple seasons, because that's how you sustain long-term success. And just going all in the first year and winning the World Series with a bunch of trades would be interesting. It would be fun to watch. It would also make a series that would last less than a week. So we gonna be bad. Let's see how preseason predictions have us. We are projected to be in 4th place, which I could see happening. The Reds made improvements this offseason, although they have like 8 right corner outfielders now. So take that what you will. Cardinals, Cubs, all I could totally see finishing better than us. Yelich is projected to be the top hitter in the National League. No top pitchers. Makes sense. Our starting pitching is thin, to say the least. But anyway, yeah, I'm super excited to be back. Glad I get to start now when the game drops, instead of in May when I would have gotten back from school. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. I still somehow have 180 subscribers. I think I was just slightly over 200 at my peak. So the fact that 90% of you have stuck with me through for over 2.5, almost 3 years, means a lot. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Hope you're just as excited for this series as I am. I'll see you guys tomorrow.